Most people think that retirement is the ultimate goal. It's where life gets easy and you don't have any more responsibilities or timelines. And this may be the case if you're prepared, but all too often, we're not prepared. And this video is going to talk about the top 5 regrets that retirees have reported during their retirement. And hopefully you can take note and prevent these from happening to you. The number one regret that people have reported in retirement is that they don't have enough savings for their retirement. The reason that a lot of people don't have enough money for retirement is because they waited too long to save. Compound interest works against you the later in life you start. If you can start saving early, then you can save a little bit of money for a long period of time and allow it to grow. And that's the reason that a lot of people do succeed in retirement with their financial bank account. However, if you haven't done that, you're not completely out of luck, but what you really need to do is talk to a financial professional. I know it's going to cost some fees and a lot of people don't want to do that. The reality is what you need right now is financial surgery. You want to perform medical surgery on yourself and refuse to go to a doctor. So this is what the professionals are there for, and they can actually help you a lot. The other thing to consider is it's not just about saving, but it's also about a withdrawal strategy. When you get to retirement, you need to have some advice on how to take money out so that you don't run out of money. The financial advisors would be extraordinarily helpful, and that would be the best thing that you can do at this point in time if this is something that is a concern for you. The second regret that people have is not prioritizing their health. They get to retirement and they're ready to enjoy the years that they've been looking for, but their health and their body just isn't able to handle it. Think of it this way. If you work in a job where you're sedentary and you sit at a desk, all you do is eat junk food for 20 years, chances are you're going to have pre-diabetes, high blood pressure, and your knees aren't going to work well enough to really enjoy traveling or any of the other activities that you'd want to do in retirement. So you really want to prioritize your health. You want to make sure that you're watching what you eat and you eat healthy. You want to make sure that you're exercising regularly, and you want to make sure that you're seeing the doctor on a regular basis, because preventative medicine is a lot better than curative medicine. So this is really kind of a foundational regret. All of the other regrets kind of build on this one, because at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much time you have. You're just going to be spending your money at doctor's offices and spending your time at doctor's offices. So here at this channel, that's what we prioritize, trying to help people retire healthy. And if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, we just ask that you would like and share our video. The number 3 regret that retirees report is that they retire too early. This one's a little bit interesting because it cuts different ways for different people. Some people retire too early and they aren't prepared financially, like we've previously spoken about, and they run into financial stress. They have to go back to work. They were ready to retire, they wanted to retire, and they were old enough to retire, but they just couldn't quite make the finances work. And that's why they regretted retiring too early. Other people were financially secure and ready for retirement, but they just didn't realize how empty their life was going to be when they left their job. They no longer had the daily structure that they were used to, and they didn't feel like they had purpose or meaning in their life anymore. So they actually regretted retiring too early because they enjoyed their work and there was really no reason for them to retire. A lot of times people retire because socially they're expected to, and they're just not ready for it. So one of the things you want to think about before you retire is, what will you do after you retire? What's going to bring meaning to your life? Is it going to be traveling? Is it going to be spending time with grandchildren? Are you going to take up a new hobby like woodworking? Or are you going to spend more time fishing? It could be any of these types of things, but you really kind of want to make sure that you have a plan, because otherwise you could just wake up in the morning and kind of look around and go, I have nothing to do. So a little test is, if you call in sick today, what are you going to do? How much TV can you watch before you get bored? Is the stuff on TV even interesting to you? If you can't figure that out, like if calling off of work is actually more stressful than going to work, then you're probably not able to determine what that purpose is for your retirement. And that's okay. But it's just something that you want to consider right now so that you can figure it out before you get to your actual retirement date. The fourth regret is not planning for long-term care and healthcare costs. We tend not to think about long-term care insurance and healthcare costs when we're younger and healthier, but in retirement, this can become a huge cost and it can drain our retirement finances quickly. Long-term care insurance is something that you would again want to talk to a financial counselor about. But the reality is it's affordable when you're in your 50s and you are less likely to need it. But by purchasing it then, you can actually put in some pretty good protections for your finances going forward. And healthcare costs, you're probably going to need more than just Medicare. And that's going to be a surprise when you realize what Medicare doesn't cover. It's not everything. And so you're going to probably want to have additional healthcare coverage and ways to pay for that. Again, I would talk to a financial counselor about it. And let me just point out, long-term care insurance may not be appropriate for everybody, but when you talk to your financial counselor, they should be able to give you the advice that you need to help make those decisions based on your situation. And the fifth and final regret that retirees report is not traveling enough or pursuing passions. And when you dig into this a little bit more, what they are indicating is that they've waited too long to pursue these opportunities. So think of it this way. When you're young, in your 20s and 30s, you have a little bit more time and you have a lot more energy and vitality, but you don't have a whole lot of money. And when you're a little bit older, in your 40s and 50s, you probably have a little bit more money and you still have energy, but you don't have as much time. In retirement, you have that sweet spot right after you retire, hopefully, where you have time, energy, and money. And it's important to use that time to pursue your passions, to pursue the traveling, because eventually the energy is just going to run out. And so even if you have the time and you have the money, you may not have the energy to be able to get on the planes and travel around the world and see the things that you want to see. And that's why the retirees are reporting this as their fifth regret. So have any of these resonated with you? Are these situations that you can see yourself perhaps going down the road inadvertently and making for yourself? If so, comment below. Let us know which ones resonate with you and let us know what you're going to do to prevent these regrets from affecting your retirement.